Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 43rd edition of the Toronto International Film Festival. My name is Andrei Tănăsescu, and I work with the programming team here at the festival. But before we begin, we would like to acknowledge that tonight's event is taking place on the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of New Credit and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat. We are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community. I'd like to also remind you that this movie is eligible for the Girls' People's Choice Award, so if you like it, please don't forget to vote. And you may do so by going online at tiff.net/vote. And of course, we'd like to thank Wide for providing us with this movie. Tonight's screening is a very special and very important screening. First of all, it is the first Slovenian feature film to play at the festival in almost a decade. It also marks another first, it actually marks several firsts. It is the first fiction film of the director, Darko Štante. It is the first film, it is the film debut, so to say, of Matej Zemljić, the main protagonist. And it is the first feature film for the producers. It is a young production team, young cast, young director, and we all believe that this movie actually marks a very important step in a young generation of Slovenian filmmakers that we hope to see at the festival. We saw the film early in, early in the summer. Once credits rolled, ourselves and other film festival programmers were totally affected by the movie. Days went by, we still had the film in our hearts. It is a film that is extremely courageous, with an incredible performance from the main protagonist. And it's a film that beautifully faces tragic reality, harsh reality rather, not necessarily just tragic, with deep human empathy. We're really happy and proud and thankful that we can screen the first screening of the world premiere here at the festival. The movie will go on to play BFI just later in October. We're even happier to have here with us the director, Darko Štante, and the actor, Matej Zemljić. They will be here at the end for a Q&A, and I highly encourage all of you to stay and engage with them and the film. But for now, please help me welcome to the stage the director, Darko Štante.
I'm a little bit nervous, so I won't talk so much. I'm very proud to be here. Glad to have the world premiere here. Also, Matej is with us, so please stay at the end for the Q&A. He will join me here on the stage. I'm glad so many of yours came here to see the picture at this hour. It's Friday evening, so so I hope you enjoyed the film, and then we see each other at the end. Thank you.
Just take a deep breath after this very powerful film. Thank you very much for staying for the Q&A portion of Consequences, and please help me welcome back to the stage Darko Štante and Matej Zemljić. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to start off by asking a very general question, but it's very specific to this film. Darko, you worked as a teacher in a youth correctional facility.
Yeah.
Which, of course, ties into my question. If you could talk about the genesis of the idea, I mean, what really motivated you to... Well, actually, what made you tell this story as your first fiction film?
I don't know. I think the main idea came to me because I was working there, and I thought that there are many stories that should be told, because they're hidden stories. You know, the people they have their ideas of about these guys who are in these institutions. And I wanted to tell them another story. I mean, something they don't know about it. That's one thing. Okay, then I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I mean, for us, what really sets this movie apart from... Granted, we have seen this story being told numerous of times, but there's a certain empathy that you have towards every single character in this film. I mean, there is tender beauty to the love that exists to some extent between Zelko and Andrei, and yet each of them have their own negative sides. But so therefore, I really want to ask also, what forced you to, or rather, what forced you? What made you decide to cast Matei in this film?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I knew Matej from before, I knew that he will get some role in the film. But then I made an audition, and he came, and I saw something in him. So I knew that he's Andrei in the film. I mean, he will do it. He can do it. I don't know. I saw something in him, some tenderness and also some rawness, some toughness, and a mixture of both. And that's why I decided to take him. I don't know. There is no other answer to this, I guess.
Matej, this is your first role in a film. You're a theater actor.
Yeah.
What did you think of the character, first of all? How did you think that you were going to actually play Andrei?
I will speak in Slovenian, and then Darko will
I'll help him a little bit.
translate it. V bistvu je to moja druga vloga, mislim druga nekako kot igralec, ker zdaj zaključujem ravno AGRFT.
It's his second role, not his
Mesec
first.
pred
Actually.
snemanjem sem snemal Sonjo Prosenc Zgodovino ljubezni, ki je prijel tudi posebno omembo žirije na Karlovih Varih.
So a month before he made he was in another picture by Sonja Prosenc, History of Love. It's called, and it was in Karlovi Vari.
And it won the special mention there as well. Yes.
Yeah. So I understand.
Drugače sem pa zelo sem bil vesel, da smo se cela ekipa filma z igralci z Darotom vred lotili zelo poglobljenega študija.
So he was very glad that the whole crew was studying very deep the roles, the characters.
Delali smo praktično slabo leto, zelo intenzivno. Moram reči, da sem jaz rabil kar zelo veliko časa, da sem se potopil v ta lik in da sem se nekako zlil z njim, ker sem zelo drugačen od njega in sem rabil zelo veliko časa, da sem se mu približal.
Okay. So it took almost a year for the preparations, and it was very hard for him to get into the character because he's in personal very, very different than Andrei, the character.
Ja, drugače pa zelo mi je pomagal, da je Dare kot režiser tudi drugače vzgojitelj v vzgojnem zavodu in da ve, kakšni so te fantje, kako se obnašajo.
It helped him that I've been working in this facility, in this youth facility, so I knew exactly how guys like those act in reality, how they behave.
Ja, tako da šli smo tudi enkrat v vzgojni zavod pogledat, ampak ja, v bistvu skozi proces nekako sem se zlil s tem likom.
We also went once to a youth facility, incognito, and all this helped him to get into character.
I'll open up the floor to questions now if anybody has any.
Better to translate than talk, huh?
Anybody? Yes, over here.
Somehow,
the,
yeah.
The
Yeah.
question was, sorry, I'm just going to
Yeah,
repeat it.
sorry.
The question was whether Darko could speak about the counselors in the correctional facility and whether their somewhat passiveness is representative of the system itself.
Yeah, I mean, I see it like that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's exactly like that, but I see it like that. I feel it like that. That the system doesn't work, you know, and those guys, those teachers or whatsoever you call them, they, um, yeah, they don't believe anymore in the system. So they're there just because they had to be there, because they earn the money that way, and they don't have any real power anymore. And the kids, they, at, as it was portrayed in the movie, they act like that. I mean, they do actually mostly anything they want. Okay, if they go too far, then maybe the cops come or whatsoever. But otherwise, yeah, they're helpless. The teachers there, and they don't want. I mean, they don't want to. It's hard to explain, you know, in the language barrier. Let's leave it like that. If did I answer on your question somehow? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll down here.
So there could be many reasons, but why did you pick the name Consequences?
I mean, there are consequences, aren't they? Let's leave it at that.
All the way to the back, yes.
I have a question about the character of Darko and the relationship between the protagonist and Darko. I guess what I was fascinated by is when they have encounters, intimate encounters, there are other people around, there are peers and friends, people they know. I was curious how you, I guess, how you conceived of like the scene where they were first met and why these are happening with, you know, in places that aren't just the two of them in private, but in, you know, groups of other friends.
Yeah, it's a hard question, yeah, to answer. I mean, you mean the scene in the hotel? I guess.
I guess that also the scene at the party.
At the party, they're doing this in a way the others don't see it for real. You know, he just put his hand under his trousers. So the question was, why are they doing it that way?
I guess, yeah, that it's a little bit public. It's not, clearly it's a secret in some sense, but also it's a secret that's out there for other people to glance.
Yeah, but he doesn't care. I mean, it's in Jelko's character, and they're drugged there, you know, and that's also a part of it. But otherwise, you know, he's doing it, and he doesn't care what the other people think about that. And they're going with him. I mean, through this game, his girlfriend, she knows what he's doing, and she doesn't care because she knows that at the end of the day, she'll be the one. The other one, Mickey, he's also into this, you know. He's into drugs, into sex, into whatsoever. So
It almost
that's
feels
pretty much it. It's hard, you know. It's a little bit for me too hard to explain in English more, so I simplify a little bit. But I hope I answered you just a part of it.
I mean, it also feels to me like it's also an issue of dominance.
Yeah.
And whoever controls and dominates
Yes.
sexual orientation, anything goes. I mean, it's really just a matter of subservience, and it's never really taken into question. And this was one aspect that we found absolutely very, very intriguing into the film. Is that sexual identity is conflated with finding your own identity as a teenager. I mean, it is one of the most difficult
Yeah.
formative experiences in your life, and it's interesting how you tackled sexual identity in this film, while not necessarily making the whole film about it, but really playing an integral role into it.
We had some press material. I wrote it down there. There's everything in there, but I don't know if there's any here.
Anybody else? Connected to my question, in fact, I would really, I mean, it might be a loaded question, but how do you think, because your film will premiere in Slovenia, I believe, later next week, right?
Yes.
How do you, well, first of all, how will you market the film?
You mean targeting?
Yeah, targeting, and then how do you think that it will be received?
We're targeting youth and younger people, for like, I don't know, 15 to 35, something like that. We should ask the producers up there, but I think something like that. How it will be received? I mean, I think that commercially it could be successful, because the trailer is attractive, the actors are attractive, there's some nice music in it, and it's happening all the time, you know. But I think also there will be some controversies about it because of the theme. Because Slovenia, in my point of view, is quite conservative, and it will have troubles to accept a story like this. Even even more because when they hear that I've done a job like this, and it could be based on some of my experiences, it will be quite it could be a shock for them, you know. So let's see, but yeah.
We'll wish you the best, of course. Any other questions? I was okay. I was also going to ask Matej, what did you walk away from with this film?
Mislim, da eno enkratno izkušnjo pred kamero in po mojem sem se naučil, kako igrati pred kamero, no. Zaradi tega, ker, no, ne vem, no, mogoče je to preveč drzno, ampak mislim, jaz hodim na faks, kjer se večinoma posvečamo samo gledališki igri in s filmom kot takem nisem imel nobenega opravka, no, zelo malo, in ravno skozi ta proces vaj, ki jih je Dare skozi snemal, sem po mojem odnesel prav ta feeling za kamero in nekako sem vzljubil kamero, tako da se mi zdi, da sva se nekako spoprijateljila in uživam pred njo. Kar prej nisem.
No, he says just his practical experiences with filmmaking. So he's talking more about how he grew up as an actor, because he didn't have much experiences before acting in front of the camera, and now he has. So he says it was an experience as an actor more, you know. He didn't talk anything about his character or whatsoever.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know, in the movie you look very strong, big, muscular stuff. You feel like physical preparation and losing a bit of muscle. You are very
Ja, imel sem srečo, da sem mesec predtem snemal History of Love, kjer sem tudi igral plavalca, se pravi, bila tudi potrebna neka fizična pripravljenost. Tako da sem nekako združil obe vlogi, da sem nekako treniral, ko sem imel čas 2-krat na dan, drugače pa 1-krat na dan, pa razni proteini, pa prehranski dodatki.
Yeah, he was in that shape because okay, first because I told him, but he didn't say it. He didn't say it. No, yeah. Also because he made this other picture before that, and he was there. He had a role of an athlete, a swimmer, so he had to be like in real good shape as a sportsman, and then he made a lot of exercises and took some proteins, and yeah. Now he's slim. Again.
Is there any more questions? Yes, go ahead. And then the last one, unfortunately.
Bravo, everyone.
Thank you.
Were you nervous at all taking on this role? Did you think twice? Because obviously you're building your career, and every job filters the next opportunity. So were you edgy of going there, knowing your future?
Da to vplivalo na tvojo nadaljnjo kariero?
Ne, se mi zdi, da ko smo začeli snemati, se nisem bal. Moram pa reči, da zdaj, ko film prihaja ven, se pa nekako sprašujem, ja, kam bo to šlo. Ampak mislim, da sem naredil toliko drugačno vlogo. Mislim, da sem na ekranu toliko drugačen, kakor sem v resnici. In se mi zdi, da ne bom imel s tem problemov.
He said that at first he didn't have any second thoughts, but now when the premiere and the screenings are approaching, yeah, he thinks a little about it, how this will influence his career, but he thinks that he's so different in real life that he can act. I mean, that it won't have such an impact, negative impact on his career, or that it would limit his career because of that.
Judging after this film, I cannot think that it will be absolutely negative. I think both of you have, bright futures. I think you have an amazing career ahead, both of you. Thank you so much for bringing Consequences to us. Thank you all for coming. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm more relaxed.